less, she thinking less, not drinking less. Bathroom says best to get spontaneous. Our stereotype put to rest tonight. Imagine, believe, and achieve, it works. Skyline as a rise like fireworks. Smell through the bad, don't touch my
Yo, hello everybody, and welcome to this edition of After the Storm, your Oklahoma City Thunder post-game analysis live stream. Normally, I don't come on this late, but today, today I normally don't come on this late, but I'm gonna say this: today, the Thunder beat the Suns tonight. I thought it was a significant win for the Thunder, and even though the game is late, you guys can watch it tomorrow. Then, of course, we will, or watch it tonight, and and you can give me your feedback. Those of you who are up, and the rest of everybody else, you guys can just talk about it tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour when we do it. So anyway, I want to say that the Thunder did a fantastic job tonight, and like I've said since I've been doing the show, or this year, or last couple of years, is that the thing with me with the Thunder, sorry guys, I'm trying to get all of this stuff done, tag everyone. The thing is this with the Thunder is that we played in so many close games. And everybody talks about, what's the playoffs or whatever. And, I agree with that to a certain extent. But at the same time, guys, we played in so many close games in the last year and a half. Starting with when SGA and Josh first started really coming in focus 2 years ago. And when we first started doing the show, and I had said always that what I've noticed is that the Thunder, that Josh and SGA just they just clicked. Then you bring in J-Dub and Chad. Of course, Chad didn't play last year. And then you trade for Isaiah Joe. So last year it was a great chemistry, and I just watched from what I saw at the end of 2 years ago. I was like, hey, the Thunder, man, we got a squad. We're back. And that's going from me and the commander, Randy Wright, and my guy, Mark Long of SRB. We'd go to games and, literally there'd be 8,000 people there. And we'd be there cheering. And we were just like, man, it's just so frustrating. And then once we all started watching, we're like, hey, man, we're going to be pretty good. And then last year, of course, I predicted that the Thunder would win 40 games. Everybody told me I was crazy. But, of course, that is not what happened. And the Thunder did win 40 games, and it looks like I was correct in that. So that being said, hey, for you guys, if you want to comment, or those of you who are up, if you want to comment, please go to YouTube, search After the Storm OKC Thunder, like, subscribe, hit notification, and then by all means go ahead and click in, and you can send a message, and I can watch and see whatever your questions are, and I can go ahead and answer them, or you can comment or whatever and give you a little love. So please go ahead and do that if you want. That's YouTube. Let me pull it up. It may be easier for you guys to see it. You can go to YouTube. It's After the Storm OKC Thunder. It will pop up, and you can like, subscribe, notifications, and then you can, ask me any questions here in the chat. Also, tomorrow, the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark. Search the Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark. Like, subscribe, notification. Every time you're on, you'll be able to click on that. And so you can comment, ask any questions, or just comment about something that I'm saying, or Nathan Taylor saying, or Drew Hinthorn is saying, or Ben Dillman saying about hockey, whatever. If you want to do that, please, by all means, go ahead. And then, of course, if you don't know how to do all that, you can always just go to www.mcsportsnetwork.com, click on any of our shows, and you can watch all of those if you missed it. Or, like I said, we're also on Facebook, so you can do any of those things to come in. So, but anyway, back to the thing. The Thunder won 118-110 tonight. Great win, and I was, it was just kind of nice to see what was going on. And it's just like, to me, at the end of the fourth quarter, and what the Thunder did, and it's just like, to me, we've been watching this for 2 years. Last year, and we've been watching this team that they've been fighting. Everybody talks about the playoffs, like I said at the beginning of the show. Hell, we played in so many damn tough games and so many close games in the last 2 years. I mean, okay, we know what to do. And now you've got the defensive team, and you put the right defensive team out there, you can get stops. Then you put them in with the right guys who can score. That's what happens. And then SGA just takes over. He's just the best closer. I don't know what Daignault sees in trying to put J-Dub at the end of quarters to let him shoot. I don't really understand that. I mean, J-Dub, he plays off SGA. SGA don't play off him. And if the coach would just get that one thing settled, that would be it. But anyway, the Thunder now are in first place in the Western Conference. and because of Minnesota's loss again today, 2 in a row is what they've lost. But that being said, I'm proud of our guys. I liked what I saw. So to start the game, of course, we had our normal starters, and you know, it's so funny as J Dub is bringing the ball up the court to start the game. I'm like, why are you bringing the ball up the court? Why are you just give the ball to SGA and bring the ball? You're not the point guard. You're not the leader of the team. He is. And when the game gets crunch time, then you give up the ball to him and let him do his business. And he will hit you. He will do what he needs to do to win the game. That's understood. So to me, I don't understand what J Dub is doing to bring what the coach is doing. Like, it's a TV game. Oh, let him bring the ball up the court. What the hell for? Pass the damn ball at SGA. Bring the ball up the floor, please. And I was like, at the beginning of the game, everybody shot but him. J-Dub shot, Chet shot, Dort shot, Josh shot twice. And I'm sitting there going, what are y'all doing? And, of course, it's a 2-12. It's 2-12. We can't score. And then Nurkic had 12 rebounds in the first 6 minutes. So it's 2-12 with 6:42, and Nurkic has 12 rebounds. Now, he ended up with 31, I believe. And then, of course, Hayward comes in for Josh. And then all of a sudden, it's 7-17. You take out J-Dub. You've got SGA, Joe, Chet, Dort, and Hayward. And the Thunder go on a run. Now, normally, Hayward is not in the game. It's either Kaysen or Wiggins. But, of course, they're trying to get Hayward into the flow for whatever reason, and he needs to because he's just not in the groove. So he's playing with this group. Maybe that can help him. From that point, the Thunder go on a nice run. It's 14-7 now with 3:18 to go, and you've got SGA, Joe, K-Rich, Dort, and Hayward in the game. And then, of course, the Thunder end up closing out the quarter. SGA with 10 points, 28-24. So from the time that you stuck SGA, when you took J-Dub out the game, the Thunder go on a run, just like they have against the Clippers, just like they did against every other team. When you put SGA with the right group in there where he's the man and there's no conflict, and everybody knows, give him the ball and let him do the thing, he'll hit everybody else, the Thunder go on a run. They're just better with him leading the floor. And it is what it is when it comes to that. And I just don't understand what the situation is with that. I do understand, but I'm talking positive right now. So anyway, end of the first quarter, the Thunder are up 28-24. Start the second quarter with J-Dub, Chet, Josh, Wiggins, and Kaysen. And the Thunder are just rolling. And then, what you end up doing is, with this total group, when you bring in SGA back in, the Thunder go on a 14-0 run. They're going a 14-0 run. And you've got SGA, Josh, Wiggins, Dort, and Bismarck. And he's a big body. But, I mean, you got to give the guy 10 games to get used to who's playing and what. But, once again, the Thunder, we're just small. We can't, you have Chad now, J Will is hurt. We're in so much trouble. And it just is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. But, anyway, the Thunder go on a nice run, and I will say this about Chip England, who is the best shooting coach in the NBA, who the Thunder stole from the Spurs. He's helped Josh out so much. He's helped Dort out. He's helped our whole team out in shooting. And I will say, let me give credit to him, and I've got him in my notes to give him a little love. But anyway, the Thunder, they go on an 18-2 run to basically close out the quarter. They had 8 turnovers. And once again, when you have SGA, you have Dort, you have Kaysen, Kaysen really didn't play a lot, but Chet, and that group in there, the Thunder make a run every time. Wiggins, they make a run. Because that group is the group. So anyway, we close out the half. It's 66-52. The Thunder are rolling. Okay? The Thunder are rolling, and when you look at the box score, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. The Thunder are really rolling. We're playing really well, and here's the halftime box score right here. You've got Chet in 16 minutes, 9 points, and 4 rebounds. I mean, he played better than what his stats don't. I mean, he played better than what his stats say. Jalen Williams, 13 minutes. He was 3 for 5, 7 points. SGA, 18 minutes. 8 for 6, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block. A big block, by the way. And then, of course, he just closed it out, which is what he does. Once he's on the floor with the right group, he just does what SGA does, and everybody feeds the ball, and then he just is the leader, and he's just unbelievable. And I think he helped a lot. He enhanced his 3-point shooting thing after tonight because I think team people who didn't get a chance to see him play have really went, okay, this guy can go. On ESPN, you had Doris Burke was fantastic in her analysis of breaking down the Thunder. She's really, really good. Lou Dort, 17 minutes, 10 points in the first half, 4 for 6, 2 for 3 from 3, with 3 rebounds, and of course, in Edges Curtis. And then, of course, Gordon Hayward, 7 minutes, Kendricks Williams, 4 minutes, K. Rich. Biombo, 4 minutes. Isaiah Joe, 10 minutes, 2 for 4, which we needed 6 points. Wiggins, 10 minutes with 3 points. And then, of course, Isaiah Joe, 9 minutes and 2 points. But anyway, my takeaway from the first half was very simple. My takeaway was I liked what I saw as far as the Thunder, as far as team play. I like what I saw as far as them saying, okay, SGA, take over. And, like I said, J-Dub is a great 2A. And this is his second year, and he is learning. That's all agreed. But his ball handling is not there. And he has one move, and he can go left, and he's trying to do the underhand scoop like SGA does, and now I'll try that, and I get that. You're supposed to emulate your best player. And then he even said, like someone had posted the other night talking about how he said he could beat SGA one-on-one. Yeah, well, whatever. But the thing is this, it's not about how you practice. It's about what happens during the game. How do you feel? And I will say this, at the beginning of the game, I thought, I'm not a fan of the guy. I'm not even bringing his name up. But anyway, the Duke player, I'm not a fan of his. Never have been. And I thought that he played pretty good defense, but he reminds me, SJ is like all great players and like Mahomes and guys like that. What they do is they take information. I do this, you do that. I do this, you do that. Like when I played defense back in the day, I would do something to see what you did. So in the second half, I'm going to use those things against you if I need to steal or if I need to stop. I know if I do this, you're going to do that. And that seems like that's what SGA does. And then he turns around and uses that against the player. So the first half, I thought the Thunder played fantastic overall. The defense was magnificent, 8 turnovers in the second quarter. And that's what we do, as our defense is amazing. But once again, the Suns were not making threes. They were just really lackadaisical, and they were hurting without Booker. I mean, let's face it. The Thunder got away with one tonight without Booker, and that's different. But you got to remember, in the playoffs, Booker's going to be playing. Booker's going to be playing. And the one takeaway from the Thunder is what? Offensive rebounding. We're 30th in the league in rebounding. We have to be able to rebound, which is why we got Biombo. I mean, J Will is hurt. So, our inside is there. And when you put K. Rich in there, they're going to put a big guy on. There's nothing we can do. You cannot go small. If you go small, you have to be able to knock down threes, which is why Golden State was small for so long, but between Steph and Clay, they were knocking down so many threes that you having a big man, you couldn't do it with them because of the simple fact that they're knocking down three, and you miss a couple shots, all of a sudden, boom. You miss a shot, they've got 3. You miss another shot, they got 6. All of a sudden, they're going 6-0 runs, 9-2 runs, 11-4 runs. And all of a sudden, they break out. Then you have to put the little guys in there because you have to be able to keep up with them to shoot the ball. That's what they've done. The Thunder, however, even though we're high in what we're doing as far as efficiency and shooting the basketball, we're still struggle when it comes to that. And in the playoffs, I can promise you, there's less possessions. Teams are going to be way more physical. And that is the difference of what you're going to run into. You're going to have to be able to rebound the basketball. You're going to have to be able to play good, solid defense, which we do. But you cannot be giving up offensive rebounds because the possessions, or you get 8 to 10 less possessions per game. So you have to be able to take advantage of those possessions or rebound. You cannot give away easy possessions by giving up layups. You can't do it. If you do, you're in trouble. It's not rocket science. It is what it is. But on the bright side of it, when the Thunder are knocking down shots and are getting out in transition, because what do I say? Long rebounds, long shots equal long rebounds, equal transitional buckets, equal what? Flow of the game. And that's what happened in the second quarter. They were shooting. We were getting turnovers. We were getting out in transition. We were getting into the flow of the game simply because our defense or because they were missing shots. And in the third quarter, it was just the opposite of that. But that's how you break it down. That's how it works. That's what you do. And I thought the Thunder were fantastic in what they achieved as far as that in the first and second quarter. Now, that being said, Chet was pretty decent, but I mean, he plays really good, but he's just, dude, if he ever gets another 15, 20 pounds on him where he's got a little bit of girth on him, he's going to be outstanding. But Cason Wallace needed to play more. I thought Gordon Hayward played a lot, and I get it. We've got to get him into the floor of the game because you need somebody like him to be able to withstand the run and be able to, because he's a smart basketball player. He's not quite the player he was at Utah before he got to Boston and almost lost his leg. Not the same guy, but he's still a very efficient player. He's still very, very good at being able to contribute and do those things. So that much I'm really pleased about what I saw out of Gordon Hayward. And he's just playing more, and I guess he's going to play more. But I still like my lineup of SGA, Isaiah Joe, Cason, Wiggins, and then give me my fifth guy. And right now, if that's Biyombo, that's fine. But it's got to then bring Chet back in late in the first quarter, and in the second quarter, and of course in the third and fourth quarters when you take J-Dub out. So I like what I see out of that group, and that's my point with that. So I want to take this opportunity to thank my sponsors. Collaborative Logic, appreciate those guys for keeping us up and running. If you have needs for computer software, anything like that, those guys are the people to see. And the thing that I love about them most is that they can come in and they can remote in. If it's just a software issue, they can remote in. They don't have to come in and disrupt your office at any time. They can fix it all and do that. I love that because they do that for me all the time. When there's something wrong with the software or something with my computer, they can come in and do that. Now, if it's actually a hardware problem, then you got to take the computer in to someone. So anyway, if you have needs for website design, which they did mine, the MC Sports Network, please holler at my guys over at Collaborative Logic and Russell Williford. SRB, if you have any needs for engineering, surveying, and planning, hit my guy Mark Long up. He is the dude for that. They love to be behind the scenes. If you have a complex or anything like that to be built, they are the people to talk to. So hit our guys up at SRB. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go to the main bank, their main location. The main bank is at 401 Elm Street in downtown Yukon. YNB East, which is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway, however you look at it. YNB Mustang off Mustang Road. They're in the great city of Mustang. YNB Parkway off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40. Can't miss it, right in front of the hospital. And then, of course, in Bethany, YNB Peoples, located on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, Shelter Insurance, the Mark Pemberton Agency, located at 4609 Southeast 29th in Dale City, Oklahoma. You can call them at 405-670-2424. They're open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 5, Fridays 9 to 1, closed Saturdays and Sundays, proudly serving the Middale area since 1982. So you got to like that. I appreciate those guys and sponsorship. Now, start the third quarter. Of course, we go with our normal lineup. And they just came at us, and I thought they did something really interesting. What they did is they started really double-teaming SGA quite a bit, especially when J-Dub was off the floor. And I saw they made this stat. KD is second in NBA in ISOs. Second in NBA defensive in ISOs. An ISO is when you're one-on-one. That's an ISO, okay? And he's second in NBA in defending that. I was like, wow. But remember, KD could play defense, but he really didn't start playing defense until he got to Golden State, which they required defense. And when you're small, like we are, you have to be able to play defense, and you have to be able to score. And that's the Thunder's blueprint. We're smaller. We're going to defend you. We're going to defend the perimeter. We're going to force you to turn the ball over. We're going to get out in transition. We're going to make some shots. That's what the Thunder do, which has made us successful thus far. So anyway, the one thing that was still killing us, and I've talked about this, is our offensive rebounding, or giving up offensive rebounds. Nurkic was just killing us. But he's a big beast. He is. And this is the thing. Ever since he hit Chet in the face, they went on, what was it, 20-something, 30-5 run or whatever is what they ended up with, something in 25-5 run. And that's what they ended up with, simply because why? They were just beating us up. They were beating us up inside. He was just killing us. And when Chet went out, it's almost like it kind of took us by surprise, if you want to say that. But it just seems like the Thunder kind of lost. I don't know if it's our defensive intensity or whatever, but their intensity went up. They started knocking down threes. Kevin Durant got on a run. There was absolutely nothing we could do. And then, of course, Dort shooting the ball. And like I have in my notes right here, please take Dort out the game. You did the same thing. When teams going to run, you can't have him in the game. Now, I understand what they were doing, putting him on Durant. Now, you put J-Dub on him too. And that's like I said, the problem with Dort is you don't have an answer defensively to take him out the game, and he kills you offensively. And what teams do, they back off of him. He started missing a couple. They back off of him. Now, I will give him his credit. Dort did make a shot right there at the end of the third quarter. But what ended up happening is, as soon as J-Dub went out, they went in and started double-teaming SGA, making him give the ball up. And then everybody else is shooting. And then we miss a three. And I think, in our group chat, the commander, Randy Wright of YNB, it's like, dude, 4 threes in a row, 5. I mean, we just, shooting three after three after three after three. And Isaiah Joe missed them. And he normally doesn't. And that's just what happens. It doesn't matter. You live by the three, you die by the three. And you're going to go through spurts where you're going to miss. But the thing is, what they did is they took SGA completely out of our offense. That's what they did in the third quarter. Okay? They say, okay, look, everybody else is going to beat us but him. And then Kevin Durant was doing Kevin Durant stuff. He's one of my top 10 players of all time. He's not now, but once he finishes, he will be one of my top 10 players of all time that I've seen. But my thing is this: they started whittling down the lead, and I didn't like the lineup that he had in the game. And I have this in my notes. I didn't like the lineup he had. I'm like, dude, go with your strength, and that is SGA, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, and Kaysen Wallace, and then Biyombo, because K-Rich is too small, or either put K-Rich in there instead of one of the other. But put your normal group in there that you make runs with, instead of trying to keep Dort on KD, which I get that. But the point is, he's killing you offensively, and when teams go on a run against us, what the coach does and Dagnall does, which drives me crazy, is you got to take Dort off the floor. Now, I know he's from Arizona State. He played there, and he's trying to, get his ass out the game. Okay? Get his ass out the game. That's what you have to do. You have to make changes, and the changes you have to make is that one, specifically. Get him out. Josh can't be on the floor. He can't be on the floor. You need to go with your group. Okay? That's SGA, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, Kaysen, and either K-Rich or Gordon Hayward or somebody. You got to have somebody in Chet, of course. That's your group. That's what you go with, and you have to do that in order to maintain. But anyway, at the end of the third quarter, the Thunder are now only up 4. Now remember, they were up 66-52. 66-52. And they got outscored, 35-22. 23. 35-23. And, and let's face it, the Suns did a great job, and that's what teams are going to do. And that's what I was saying about J-Dub. When they double team him and run at him, he doesn't have the handles, and he doesn't have the ability to get away. He's not SGA. He doesn't have I think Doris Burke made a good comment of how his handles are in traffic in a deal. And like one of my training sessions, I work on my kids with their dribbling, keeping it tight in traffic. You have to keep the ball tight. You can't be dribbling loose. And J-Dub dribbles the ball out all over the place because he's so big and athletic. He doesn't have the tight handles that SGA does. So that's what ended up happening. So anyway, you start the fourth quarter, and you've got J-Dub, Chet, Wiggins, Kaysen, and Hayward. Okay? And in that quarter, they made 7 threes in that quarter. They made 7 threes in that quarter, talking about Phoenix. Because they were rolling. They were like, look, we're going to take SG out the game, and that's what teams do. And that was the thing that Josh did last year, is that whenever he's on the floor, which I loved, you double team SJ, you hit Josh at the free throw line or 3-point line, and then he does his business after that. Because then you have a 4-on-3 break And Josh is fantastic at his teardrops, which is off one leg, kicking it up, or he kicks and makes the right decision. You got cutters and shooters. So I like the way that the Thunder did that. But, of course, now Josh is struggling. And like I said, I give Josh a break. And I've talked about this all year. I'm giving Josh a break this year. He regressed, one, because J-Dub and Chet was on the floor. He did not know where he belonged, so that was one. And number two, and most importantly, he was about to fight for his life whether he was going to jail or not in California. So that, to me, was a huge thing for Josh to figure out where he was at and what he was doing. Okay, so I'm giving him a pass this year. I just am. So anyway, they make a run, and then, of course, which is uncharacteristic for Daigneault, it's 93-99 with 8 minutes 27 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And he brings SGA in. So you got SGA, Wiggins, Kaysen, Chet, and J-Dub. Oh, you're bringing SGA in with 8 minutes? Wait, you're not sitting him over there? And here's the one thing that the Thunder have to understand. Get him in the game, and once he got in the game, the whole tide turned. The whole game changed right there. He comes in, starts scoring, gets defense, and J-Dub's not trying to bring the damn ball up the floor. You give the SGA, let him bring up the floor, and let him do his business. That's why he's the best player on the team. That's why he's one of the top 5 players in the league. What did he do? He stopped the bleeding, because that's what your best player does. That's what one of the top 5 players in the NBA does. He stops the bleeding. And then what did this do? To me, it just helped people see how good, one, he is. Number two, how good we are as a team, as in J-Dub and Chet, how they are supporting of him, along with Kaysen, along with Wiggins, along with K-Rich, along with Gordon Hayward to some point, along with Dort, along with Isaiah Joe. That support staff is great. Now, they talked about, he played 10 players in the first. Yeah, dude, we play the Lakers tomorrow night. You playing the Lakers tomorrow night. Yeah, you back-to-back, you've got to get rest. You can't play your players. I mean, you got to rest them as much as you can, but you can't give away a W. You got to get a win tonight. Simply without Booker, you had to get that in. And I will say Daigneault surprised me by actually bringing SGA in with 8 minutes to go. He doesn't do that. He usually brings him in with 4 minutes to go or 5 minutes to go, letting these guys roll. But, they weren't going to stop them without him. So great job to assistants telling him to put SGA back in the game. And then, of course, SGA stopped the bleeding. And for the last 8 minutes, he had his ball, handing the ball every single time, almost bringing 95% of the time, bringing it up. And what did he do? He closed out the game. Because that's what he does. When you have one of the best players in the league, that's what they do. Top 5 player, that's what he does. And like I said, him joining, this year he would join oh my God, my mind just went blank. Steph Curry and Michael Jordan with 30 points, 50% shooting, and 2 steals. I thought he did it more than one. I thought he did last year, but he didn't. So he's going to join him as the only 3 guys to ever do it in history. And, of course, Jordan averaged 50 and 35 times, which is, 30 and 50, 30%. 30 points a game and 50% shooting. And SGA is getting ready to do that the second time. So my thing is this. If the Thunder do what they're supposed to do and handle their business, how does SGA not be the MVP? How does he not be the MVP? Because when you look at what the Thunder did, closing them out once they put him on the floor at the end of the fourth quarter, what happened? The Thunder handled their business. They handled their business. So the Thunder are now 42-18. The Suns are 35-26. The Thunder 118-110. The Suns were 14 for 39, 44%. 50 rebounds to our 41. We were 9 for 31 for the second game in a row, 48% from the field, and 41 rebounds. 54 points in the paint. Of course, that's SGA doing what he does. And then 21 turnovers for them and 5, which is how we lost the game the other night. No turnovers. You got to turn the ball. You got to turn the other teams over. We lead the league number 1 in turning the opposing teams over, and we did not do that the other night, and you have to do that in order to win games, talking about the Spurs. You've got to be able to do that. But only 5 turnovers. What a great job. We did take care of the basketball tonight. The Suns outscored us 28-25. We missed a lot of easy, wide-open shots, so that has a lot to do with it. And then, of course, the final box score. Chet, 31 minutes, 14 points. 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. Nice stat line. J-Dub, 33 minutes, 22 points, 10 for 19 from the field, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals. Great job by him. And then, of course, 0 blocks. And then SGA, of course, here's his stat line: 38 minutes, which is what it should all. He should be 4 to 5 minutes playing more than J Dub. That's what it's got to be. If you're going to win, you got to keep that man on the floor. 38 minutes, 15 for 27. He was 0 for 5 from three, and still with that, and he missed 2 free throws, which is his free throw percentage this year is just crazy because remember last year he was at 90%. 35 points for him, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, almost a triple double with 3 steals and 2 blocks, including a huge block on KD late in the fourth quarter. Josh Giddey, 19 minutes, 10 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Decent game by Josh, I thought overall. Lou Dort, 30 minutes, 13 points, 5 for 13, 3 for 7. Way too many shots. Way too many shots. He cannot shoot the ball that many times. 5 rebounds, 3 steals for Lou Dort. I thought he played a magnificent job guarding KD. I thought he had a great game. Gordon Hayward, 16 minutes, 2 points. Only took 3 shots with 3 rebounds, 1 assist. I thought he played pretty decent, but he still doesn't know where he belongs on this team. And until you get him more minutes, he's just not going to know. Kendrick Williams, 9 minutes and 0 points. No shots. 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Biombo, 7 minutes, 1 for 3, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. And he just looks, once again, you got 2 new guys. You got to play them. That's the only way to be able to do it. Isaiah Joe, 15 minutes, 8 points, 2 for 8 from 3. And he missed those 4. Bro, you're a shooter. You got to make shots. 1 rebound, and then, of course, 1 block. Aaron Wiggins, 22 minutes, 7 points, 3 for 6. He had a huge bucket, by the way, during the third quarter. So, like what I saw out of him, even though his numbers were decent. 3 rebounds, 4 steals was fantastic. He's my guy. Nathan Taylor loves him. That's his favorite. And then, of course, Kayson Wallace, 18 minutes, 5 points, including a huge 3 that he knocked down. I thought it was fantastic in what he did. I really did. I thought he played really good tonight. So here we go with the NBA scores tonight or today overall. Here, let me blow that up a little bit for you guys who are like me who need to be able to see. The Mavericks lost to the 76ers at home, which was a surprise. The Clippers beat the Timberwolves by 1. The Timberwolves, what they did at the end of the game, I'm like, what are y'all doing? I don't, they've got to get a handle on that because when games are tight, you got to know what the weaknesses are, how to exploit the defense, and that's the thing, the difference between them and the Thunder. The Thunder have played in so many close games over the last 2 years. They're so used to fighting off and understand how to win, and that's the difference. And that's why I disagree with people in the playoffs come because they played so many close games. I think they truly know how to win. The Celtics that was a beat down, but once again, the Warriors don't care. They'll blow that game off. Even if they got beat by 50 or 60, they'll just blow it off. Who cares? They'll come back and do what they need to do. It's just a game. You lost, whatever. They're tired. They moved on. The Magic 113 over the Pistons. Woo. And then, of course, let me see anything. The Spurs, Wembanyama, he's a monster. He is a monster. He really, truly is. He's really good. He's as advertised, no doubt. The Knicks took care of business over the Cavaliers. Hopefully, Jalen Brunson's going to be okay. And then, of course, the Thunder knocked out the Suns. And this is what the NBA standings look like at this point. The Thunder, winners of 42 and 18, are now top of the West. The T-Wolves 42 and 19, losers of 2 in a row. Nuggets, winners of their last 6. They're coming back and making a run at everybody. They still scare the hell out of me. Clippers 39 and 20. And then, of course, Pelicans 36 and 25, 7.5. They should be 7, not that many. That's not right. Winners of 1. Suns, losers of 1. Kings in 7th place, winners of their last 1. And then, of course, the Mavs, losers of 2 in a row. So that newness is starting to wear off a little bit. Luka is doing what Luka's doing as far as scoring. He is just absolutely a magnificent scorer of the basketball and passer. He's unbelievable. Then, of course, the Warriors, 32 and 19, are now 9th. And then the Lakers, losers of 1, are now in 10th place, hosting the Thunder tomorrow. And then, of course, the Lakers, Drew Henthorne sent us a deal. The Lakers are minus 2-point favorites over the Thunder. So the Thunder are +2, and over-under is 237.5. So we'll see how that works. But anyway, that's the stat line by my guy Drew Hinthorn of Husker Drew Picks. That would be him and his stat line. He has taken the Lakers, of course, and I am a Laker fan as well. Lakers me 1, Thunder 1-8. That's how I've always been. And everybody goes, well, how can you do that? We have a home team, dude. I was a Laker fan since I was little. I'm not going to change being a Laker fan. The only time I cheer against the Thunder against the Lakers. That's it. And you can't have a team your whole life and then you get a home team and then all of a sudden you change. You can't do that. Then you were never a fan. If you're a fan of a team, you're a fan of a team. You can't change. Now, the problem is, do I love our Thunder? Yes. Do I want us to win a championship over the Lakers winning the championship? Yes, because I like for OKC to get one. I really would. And this team is really good. This team is at the point now where you have another big three like we had back in the day. Okay, the difference between this big three is they play defense better than that group did. The two thing that I think that this team does is that they are. You don't have a Russell Westbrook to turn the ball over and make mistakes down the stretch. They really don't do that. Okay, they don't. They take care of the basketball. They play good defense. Why? Because they've done it for the last 2 years. 2 years ago when they came back and they showed the record of what the Thunder have done, it got better and better every year. And it's like 2 years ago when we drafted Josh at the end of the year, the cohesiveness and the way that those two guys played, SJ and Josh, I'm like, oh my God, we got something here. Thunder got something. And then, of course, last year predicted the Thunder would win 40, would get 40 wins. They did because I saw what was coming on. I didn't see J-Dub, did not expect J-Dub to do what he did. And he just solidified what the Thunder were doing. And remember, this has only happened twice, where 3 players had 30 points in the game. The Thunder did it with KD, the first big three, KD and Harden and Westbrook, and then they did it again with Josh, J-Dub, and SGA. So Josh can score, but right now, like I said, I'm giving him a pass. Hopefully he can get his head back in it when the playoffs are coming in. I hope, because we really, really need him, but I'm giving him a pass. I just am. I just don't think, you're about to go to jail. That makes a huge difference. So, but anyway, the Thunder come away with a big victory tonight, 118-110. I thought the Thunder played great. They have a huge game tomorrow, and we will be watching. We will be discussing it tomorrow on the Unpopular Hour. So please, by all means, like I said, go to YouTube, search After the Storm OKC Thunder, like, subscribe, hit notifications, and you can go on and you can ask me questions here. And then also like, subscribe, and hit the Unpopular Hour, Matt Clark. Like, subscribe, hit notifications. So I appreciate you guys' support. Appreciate you watching me tonight, even though it's late. I appreciate you guys staying up. And that being said, everybody have a fantastic